Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Jake here, and welcome back to another Pokemon Go video. And in today's video, guys, we are going to be going over a very top secret strategy that could potentially win you your Jungle Cup. And this strategy, guys, I'm calling it the double electric strategy. As the name implies, we are going to be running a team with 2 electric types in it. Now, right before we talk about this strategy, I would like to say, if you guys are new here, please don't forget to drop that subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below what you think about this strategy once you've watched the video, and tell me how it goes when you try it out. Now, I don't want to be like giving away the strategy if it seems to be overpowered, but I wanted to put this video out for you guys who may be struggling with making a strong team. Now, to start this video off, like I said, it is a double electric strat, and 100% I recommend Lantern as your first electric type, and your second could be anything from Alolan Golem, Alolan Graveler, like you see here, Magnezone, Magneton, Raichu, Alolan Raichu, as we move down this list. And yeah, those are pretty much your main options. Alolan Raichu will be resisting those fighting moves from Vigoroth. Alolan, Graveler, and Golem actually do surprisingly well against Vigoroth, even though they do lose out. Those rock throws do a nice chunk of damage. And then if you want something that resists grass alongside your Lantern, I would recommend Magnezone and Magneton. Because again, guys, this strat is a slightly risky one, because since I recommend Lantern as one because of its pure bulk and the fact it can have so many positive matchups against so many of the bug flyers in this cup, that you will be seeing some grass users in there, but a lot of people are straying away from the grass types in this cup just because there's so many things that outclass it. You have the bugs that beat out Venusaur and other things like Victory Bell. You have the flyers that beat them out as well, and then you have the Fortress and things like Vespiquen that completely wall them. So slowly but surely, people are straying away from these grass types. Hashtag drop the grass, or hashtag bench the grass, as Jimma says. But that's partially the reason why I think the strategy will be very good. We will be testing it out in some battles here in a minute or two after I explain this. But like I said, these electric types will be weak to Venusaur. They'll be heavily weak to Venusaur. So you want to have something in the middle between those two, and I would highly recommend Vespiquen, because not only can Vespiquen wall the grass types, it can also do very, very well against Vigoroth. Now, depending upon which of the other electric type you're going to run alongside Lantern, Vigoroth will still be able to beat both of them out, just not very hard. Vigoroth is not a hard counter to the electrics. It's more of a soft counter. So as long as you can trap their grass users, you can win the game. A lot of people will not be leading grass because it is a very risky lead, as I'm sure a lot of you know, just because there's so many things that dominate the grass in this meta. Now in these matches, you guys will see I win with the strategy even down the lead. So what I mean by that is I still win the game even though I lost the leading scenario, which is huge, because this means this strategy can definitely work at a very consistent rate. You just need to make sure you get your bug flyer trapped with their grass or with their Vigoroth. Now, alongside these 2 electrics, I highly recommend Vespiquen. Vespiquen, like I said, is a complete wall to the grass users as well as Vigoroth. It can beat them both out. With a shield advantage, it can probably take them both on if your opponent only has 1 shield. And that's the perfect Pokemon to have alongside these electrics, because again, they are weak to grass. So for me, I'm running Alolan Golem and Lantern, because Lantern has that pure bulk and can beat out pretty much every single flying bug type there is, as well as beat out the other electric types. Now, I'm running Alolan Golem alongside that, just because it also walls the flyers and the bugs, and it can also do a lot of damage to the grass users if they don't shield those rock blasts. But yeah, that pretty much explains the double electric strategy in a nutshell for you guys. If you don't like that you are double weak to grass users, then you can go ahead and use Magnezone and Magneton if you would like to resist those moves. But just remember that all the grass users will be resisting those electric type moves. But with Magneton and Magnezone, you at least have Magnet Bomb and Flash Cannon to do some solid neutral damage. But Lantern is a must, guys. I cannot praise this enough. Lantern is a must as one of your electric types. You may not agree with me, but I just think because of the fact it beats out the majority of the electrics, it should be one of your electric types. And the fact that it has that pure bulk combined with the water gun spam that does chip away pretty quickly, I think Lantern is definitely a good solid option. If not Lantern, then I would choose Raichu. Now without further ado, let's get right into these battles featuring my double electric type strategy. Alrighty guys, here we are in our first match versus our friend Shelby. Thank you for the battles, and best of luck to you in your tournaments, man. Now as you guys saw there, we are going to be doing our double electric type strategy and see what this strategy can do. Now we open a lone golem and he opens that Sceptile, so this is an ultimate test to see if the strategy can work, because we let off against our most dangerous matchup, and that is a grass user. Even though he's not part poison, as you can see, Golem is still holding up pretty well. As you can see, it's already chipped Sceptile down very low. And here I do decide to make the switch, so he wastes his energy and we take very little from that. Now he switches into his lone Graveler, and this is bad because we will no longer have that counter to Sceptile in case it gets off another Leaf Blade. But this is where Lantern can come in clutch, because Lantern will be able to very nicely beat out the other electric types in case they do breed them. As you can see, Rock Blast does very low amounts of damage to Lantern because of its pure bulk. And now I'm going to expect Sceptile to come back in, which it does. Now here we're going to have to use our last shield, but because Lantern does some good chip damage, he decides to switch out because he knows he's going to need that in the back, and he switches into his Noctowl. Now that Thunderbolt is going to destroy his last shield, and then we can bring in our Alolan Golem, which will be able to tank any of these charge moves coming out of that Noctowl. And now we are going to overfarm a ton of energy, because we know those Fury Cutters won't kill us before we can get to that Rock Blast. So we finish off his Sceptile, and Sceptile goes down. So GG's in that first game, Shelby. Really appreciate the battles as usual, as always. And yeah, that shows to you why the strategy is so dominant. That's only one battle, but we're gonna get into the next right now. So jumping in this next battle, we're gonna be leading with our grass counter, that is Vespiquen, as well as Vigoroth, because as you guys know, Vigoroth will beat the electric types, because especially if it's with something like Golem, because it is weak to those fighting type moves. In this scenario, we have Alolan Golem versus Alolan Graveler. He is going to decide to shield that Rock Blast, and we decide to just let our Alolan Golem take the hit there, because we know we can farm with our Lantern. We can farm up this Graveler for the rest of its energy, or its HP, sorry, which is exactly what we're going to do. And now we still know he has that Masquerain in the back, and he brings in the Sceptile again here. So this is dangerous because it has that Leaf Blade and that thing charges so quick. But now we are going to potentially force the last shield from it. He decides to not shield, so that was smart. And now we decide to store some extra energy for that Masquerain in the back. And right about now we swap in to our Vespiquen to feint the Sceptile. And then this Masquerain comes in with very little HP left. So we are going to force that last shield here with this X-Scissor. And we know that Lantern in the back has nearly a charged Thunderbolt ready to go. But we take out the Masquerain anyways, because Vespiquen has that bulk, guys. Even against flying types, it still has enough bulk to get off 1, potentially 2 charge moves. And that's why Vespiquen is such a great partner to this double electric strategy. I can't stress this enough, guys. You need to make sure that you don't get locked against grass types, because you have your electrics there to purely counter the flying users and the grass, or not flying, not grass, the flying and the bug users in this cup, and a majority of people will bring those. And then you have Vespiquen to just completely cover you for the fighters, for Vigoroth, for Heracross, and for the grass types. Vespiquen is just, it's 2 times resisting fighting and grass moves. That's why it's a dominant counter. As you can see there, it took essentially no damage from that Breloom's dynamic punch. And this is where, again, this is why I recommend Lantern. Do you see the damage that it is doing to this right now? We don't even have to shield, but we do decide to shield just in case it was a wild charge, or not a wild charge, a T-Bolt. And now we have all this energy farm for whatever comes in next. It is that Breloom, but it's so low HP that we know we can finish it off with the water guns here. And now we are going to burn these last 2 shields here, depending on what's in the back, and is Vespiquen. So there goes shield number 1. There goes shield number 2. And now we want to switch out pretty much immediately. We do decide to actually come in because we have that Vespiquen with a power gem ready to go. And he just barely gets off a last second charge move, which is power gem. And here comes our Lantern to finish it off, guys. So beautifully played by us there, I think. I think switching there was the correct play. Pretty much blocking his opportunity to get his charge move off. And that saved us the game because our Lantern had just enough HP to squeeze that one out. And yeah, Lantern obviously came in clutch there. As well as our Vespiquen with a bunch of saved energy from before. And GG's to Shelby. Thank you for the battles. And let's get into the next set of battles here, testing out our double electric strategy. Alrighty guys, here we are with our next set of battles against a different opponent named Elweza. You guys have seen them way back in the channel, back when I was still grinding my way to 1,000 subscribers. You haven't seen them on the channel for quite a while, but if you guys do go back, you will see him in a lot of videos. He is in the Ranger tier on the Go Stadium Discord, for any of you guys wondering. So yeah, he's definitely a strong battler. And yeah, we're gonna try this double electric strategy on another highly skilled trainer. Now we both end up opening a Alolan Golem. This is actually fine because a big part of the strategy is that once you take out their electric, or once they take out your electric, I should say, they won't be expecting another one in the back. And this is where the advantage comes into play for you, because most people, they do opt to bring at least 1 flyer on their team and maybe potentially 1 bug, or they decide to bring something like a Heracross, which the electrics do for the most part beat out. Lantern is able to beat that in the majority of shielding scenarios, I believe. And right here is a great example of why Vespiquen is so strong in this lineup, because it can beat out that Vigoroth, and we have our Lantern in the back for that Noctowl. So this is the ideal scenario with running this electric strategy. Lantern is just so good, and you need shields for this strategy, guys. So you need to make sure you save a shield for your Vespiquen so it can do the job of protecting your electric types. As you can see, even if my main Vigoroth counter goes down, Lantern still does a lot of work to Vigoroth. Just because the water gun deals a lot of damage, and those T-Bolts need to be blocked by that Vigoroth. So a lot of these Pokemon, like Alolan Golem, like Vespiquen, like Lantern, they can all do work if they have that shield advantage, because they are all pretty tanky in their own regards. Like Alolan Golem is resisting those body slams. It's also 2 times resisting flying moves, just like Magneton is. Lantern, for example, is resisting flying moves. It's really bulky, so those body slams really don't do that much damage. And then Vespiquen takes neutral from those body slams, but 2 times resists fighting and grass. And the great thing about this is, even if your Vespiquen goes down, as long as you have that shield advantage against, let's say, a Venusaur, Alolan Golem still does a lot of work, as you guys will see later on in this video. I think in the next few battles here, we do have a scenario where Alolan Golem actually beats Venusaur. But yeah, we'll just keep commentating on these battles right now, so you guys can get an idea of why I think the strategy is so good, and why I think it's a winning tournament strategy. So right here, he brings in that Vigoroth. We have the Lantern. And as you can see, that Lantern actually did a ton of work. He can bring it in this Vespiquen to get off that first X-Scissor, which he will actually block because he probably has a Grass type or something of the sort in the back. So he does get out off that second Body Slam. That is okay though. Because we do get off that X-Scissor, which means we will be able to see what he has in the back. And that actually is Heracross. So this is definitely a losing matchup because we over tap Rock Blast, guys, and that's going to be a GG because he has that stored energy for my Vespiquen, and yeah, that's going to be a GG there. Well played, Eloisa, and that's one of the losses. Now in that scenario, Vespiquen just didn't have the HP, and I really thought it was going to be something else in the back, or else I definitely would have stayed in there. But anyways, let's get into the next match. So in this next match, guys, we are going to be leading with Lantern. Now, Lantern is definitely a solid lead, but against a Vigoroth, that's not so great. Lantern is one of those electrics you kind of need to keep in the back, so this is a mistake by me leading with it. I was just expecting him to lead with the Flyer here. But anyways, we are going to be actually trading shields here, and I'm going to block my Lantern again right after this Body Slam, I believe. Just so we can feint down this Vigoroth. And do we block it? Yes, we do. Now, the reason behind this is because we wanted to get that switch advantage, but he also decides to block. So we both spend 2 shields, but his Vigoroth is so low already that we decided to just bring in our Golem, because we know those Body Slams won't be doing very much damage as we are resisting them. And then he switches out his Vigoroth into his Lantern. So this Wild Charge is going to hurt that Lantern quite a bit. And let's see, can we beat this Lantern to our X-Scissor? Yes, we can, guys. That was crucial right there, because it just saved our last 2 Pokemon from that Lantern threat. And then his Vigoroth comes in, and look what's in the back, guys. It is Venusaur. Now this is the ideal scenario for Vespiquen to shine, because even Sludge Bombs won't be dealing very much damage. It is neutral, but we can easily tank 1 to 2, and we get to those X-Scissors very quickly, so that is able to finish off that Venusaur. GG's, and let's get into the next game. Alright guys, jumping in this next game here against Eloisa. We're going to be opening Vespiquen, and he opens Alolan Golem, so that's an instant switch out into our Lantern. As you can see, it just did a ton of damage, and now this is the ultimate test to see if this lineup can deal with a switch locked Lantern against a Venusaur. Now right here, we're just going to give up our Lantern because we need those shields, guys. Remember, this strategy, you need shields for, because you need one Pokemon to help out the other 2. Now this is a scenario where I was predicting Frenzy Plant, and it is, so that worked out heavily. And now this is, we can just farm energy there, and we expect him to bring in that Alolan Golem again, and he does. So we're gonna insta swap into our Alolan Golem so we can tank this Wild Charge, because we are expecting maybe a Flyer in the back, and it turns out to be Lantern. So he decides to run his own double electric with Grass, which could work out. But remember, guys, we still have this Vespiquen with 2 shields, so this is going to be a close one regardless. We do get 2 X-Scissors off immediately, so we're going to be pressuring those shields really fast here. We can shield this first Thunderbolt, and because Vespiquen is such a tank, guys, we can just outlast this Lantern from that Water Gun. And we're going to aggro farm the heck out of that thing. And now all you guys left is the Alolan Golem. But do we have enough for 2 X Scissors? Yes, we do, guys. So not only did we save 2 shields for that and end up beating Alolan Golem and Lantern, but we ended up beating up a team that had the same Pokemon as mine plus a Venusaur to counter my electric types. So huge win there. That just shows how strong Vespiquen is when it is somewhat healthy and when it has these shields. Having 2 shields on a Vespiquen is scary, because there's nothing that really hard counters Vespiquen besides the rocks. And yeah, that ends it off for the battles in today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed those, and I really hope you took some solid strategies out from this video, because I wanted to start making strategies for tournaments rather than just going in with a balanced team of 6 and just trying to read their team as much as possible, because that is a lot for your brain to handle, and it becomes really like a high pressure tournament for you. And as a very stressed guy I am, when I get under pressure like that, I tend to overthink my leads and just my teams again whilst looking at my opponent's team, and that usually ends up hurting me in the end. So I'm going to start making more videos like these, trying to figure out very solid strategies, as far as maybe running 2 of one type on a team and then having something else to complement them. But yeah, this is my first go at the double electric strategy in the Jungle Cup. I hope this strategy helps win your own tournaments. And yeah, just make sure to counter their grass users if they even bring any, which is highly unlikely that they will bring any, just because people are starting to stray away from the grass. I hope this doesn't make people want to bring grass now, but yeah, that's really all you have to watch out for with the strategy. And as long as you do that, you should be good to go. So I hope, in the end, I hope you learned a lot from this video, and I hope it helps you out with your local or remote Jungle Cup tournaments. If you found this video enjoyable or helpful, please don't forget to drop that subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below if you think this strategy will work or if it won't work, in your opinion. And yeah, tell me if I should do more of these, please guys, I really appreciate it. And you can be expecting a stream this coming week, or maybe 2, depending on my schedule. And until the next video, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this one, and until then, I will talk to you all later. Have a great day, and peace out.